to another episode of A Sandwich and Some Lovin' podcast. I'm Kellie Raspberry Evans. I apologize. I have a lozenge in my mouth, and I know you're probably going to be able to hear that, but it's either that or I hack into the microphone the whole time. So please forgive me. But again, I'm Kellie Raspberry Evans. This is my husband and my co-host, Alan Evans.
Hey, Trey! In the house.
All right. Maybe I should have had him make me a hot toddy. Has anybody ever had a hot toddy when they were sick before? I had my very first one when I went with Alan to a Texas Tech game, and we made some wonderful friends there. And at the party, they had hot toddies. Do you remember? What's in a hot toddy?
That would be whiskey. That would be honey. That would be lemon.
Lindley is the one that made those.
Lindley did, yeah.
Oh, gosh, they were and I never had one before. And when you don't feel well, a hot toddy.
I tell you what else Lindley's done.
She kicked cancer's
She's
butt.
beat cancer's ass. Just beat it in the ass, yes.
All right, so Alan has been drinking a little, so be prepared for more language than usual in tonight's podcast.
I had a business meeting tonight. It was a high-powered business meeting.
Mm-hmm. What was discussed?
Well, boobs.
Again, this is what you can expect from tonight's podcast.
No. Jeff invited me to a happy hour, and there was another gentleman there, and he is a partner of ours in the restaurant.
Okay, and you're going to say that this business meeting involved breasts.
Well, I mean, what dudes, when they're sitting around drinking, don't talk about boobs?
But I thought it was a business meeting.
Well, it was a business meeting.
It wasn't.
Well, okay.
But anyway, he's here now, and we're a little late getting started. And thank you all for joining us. We do record this on our YouTube channel, A Sandwich and Some Lovin', usually approximately 8 p.m. Central Time on Monday and Wednesday nights, because we're back to doing 2 podcasts a week. So thank y'all for hanging out. Excuse me, we're
doing 2 podcasts a week, right?
Still going to cough occasionally. But
are you playing Hack-a-Shack still?
I'm trying not to. It's just that lingering remnants of a summer cold that you just can't shake. You know, it's just aggravating at this point.
I'm such a fool for you. You know I linger.
Oh, okay. I was wondering how it tied in.
Yeah.
So there you go.
You said it lingered.
Yes. Would that be the cranberries?
I'm
not even sure.
Like one of my bombs. They linger.
So anyway, we have promised you stuff, and we're going to deliver.
Oh, call us the mailman and the mailwoman.
So we last week we did the finalists for the Name the Smokers for our new barbecue restaurant, Oak Barbecue, opening soon. I'm not really exactly sure the exact date.
Well, I know the exact date.
Oh, you do? It was revealed? Is it not good?
It's not good. Yeah, it's not good.
When is it?
It's not good.
It's not in October?
Well, let's just say it's later than sooner.
Is it in 2020?
It's in 2020, but it's later than sooner.
Well, things happen, and, it's all in God's timing. That's what I trust. So we still have to name these smokers and get everything in place. But the 3 winners, you're going to have the name put on a plaque on the smoker, and Alan and I are going to treat you to a night of dinner and cocktails. And trust me, I'm a lot more fun when I've had as many cocktails as Alan. So it's going to be a fun night, and we're going to have a good time. But we're going to announce the winners tonight. Also, a couple podcasts ago, we got a little off track last time. We talked about the probing questions Alan found. That help you fall in love or determine, is it help you fall in love faster with the one you're with, or determine if you can fall in love? I forget the reason behind these probing questions.
The 36 questions that lead to love.
And 36 is too much to do in one podcast, so we're breaking it down into 3. So tonight will be the second 12.
We're breaking it out in digestible tidbits.
In the digestible dozens.
Yes.
And then Alan, the other night, we're not all in bed. Dylan's in bed because he's hanging out. He's with us in the bedroom. And Alan's got his feet up on the bed. And I noticed how long his second toe was. And it was just so...
Wait a minute. That was a dangling participle. Whose toe was long? Mine or Dylan's?
It wasn't a dangling participle. I said Alan was in bed. Didn't I say that? But anyway, it was Alan's feet. He was in bed, and his second toe really long. And I guess I've noticed it before, but for some reason it just looked exceptionally long
Thank
that
you.
night.
Thank you.
So
I get that a lot.
He put it up on his Instagram and did like a little quick poll. Is this normal? Am I the only one? It's actually a fairly common thing to have a second longer toe.
I polled
common.
I polled my followers, and we'll get into that.
Yeah, fairly common.
It's not fairly common.
It's fairly common. But anyway, I decided to do a little research because, I was always told if a woman has a second toe longer than the big toe, that means she's going to be a hen pecker, right? She's going to be dominant and controlling.
Your second toe isn't longer.
Right.
And I tell you what, you're a hen pecker.
I am.
Always pecking my ass.
Am I really, Alan?
No, you're not.
Okay. He's trying to be aggravating just to prove how buzzed he is.
She's not, guys.
I'm really not. I like to defer to the man as the head of the household. Do I get upset and a little ticked off sometimes? Yes, I do.
Don't answer that.
But
yes.
We do like to resolve our conflicts sooner rather than later.
Hey, babe.
And I defer to my husband.
But real quick, one of our members in the live studio audience wants the definition of a hen pecker. What does that mean?
She is the man that she's always nagging her husband. She's a hen pecker. She's a hen. She's a woman.
Pecking on her husband's head.
I thought it was a common term. I'm sorry I did not explain that.
Okay.
But, I did a little bit more research into that, and I'll have toe talk coming up. If toes repulse you, that's why we're going to save it to the end. Right?
Yeah.
Or towards the end.
I hope you have all that.
I have all of it, babe.
Okay.
But you have the probing questions, not me. That's you. You do have that, right?
Yeah, I have those.
Okay, good.
Yep.
So we're going to get to all that.
Yep, we're going to get to all that.
And in the process of the next hour, Alan's going to sober up.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a great podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, and when I'm not loving that noise, please don't do that.
Okay.
All right, so listen. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited my husband's here, and I love being here with our podcast family. And I love sharing special things with you thanks to our podcast sponsors. And a lot of people message me, they slip into my DMs and say, Kelly, do you really love Rothy's? Yes, I do. I love wearing high heels. My legs look good in high heels. It was one of my best features. I highlight them as much as possible, but I'm going to tell you what. Sometimes you want to look cute, but you cannot stand the thought of putting on a high heel. Especially we've been, working at home so much lately. Putting on high heels now, it's like a foreign object on your feet. But you still want to look polished and put together. That's the beauty of Rothy's. With Rothy's, you can be stylish. You can be super cute. I have that Audrey Hepburn vibe. Whenever I put them on, those cute little pointy toe flats, that's the first pair that got me started, my red camo pointy toe flats. But Rothy's has expanded. They're constantly adding new styles, new seasonal palettes. They have beautiful palettes for fall they've just added. It's constantly changing. You've got to keep checking back with Rothy's. They make stylish, sustainable shoes and bags also, made for more of us who have life on the go, right? But we want to look cute and comfortable, do it. They're incredibly comfortable shoes, 0 break-in period, thanks to their seamlessly knit, easy for me to say, knit shape design. They're made from recycled water bottles, y'all. I don't know how they do it. It does not make sense. It doesn't compute in my brain, but they do. And I've talked to people who don't just own one pair of Rothy's. They own a Rothy's wardrobe. They've added the slide-on sneakers, the cute little bows. They've added sandals for summer. I know we're getting out of summer, heading into fall. You really need to check out all they've added because, like I said, Rothy's are always changing colors, prints, and patterns. They're available in a wide range of styles. They have free shipping, free returns. Vogue calls Rothy's a personal obsession. I have to agree with them on that. Health says they're the most comfortable shoes on earth, and that's a big statement right there.
I mean, Earth is a big place. And check out all the amazing shoes and bags available right now at rothys.com/sandwich. That's rothys.com, ROTHYS.com/sandwich. Style and sustainability meet to create your new favorites. Head to rothys.com/sandwich today.
I love that they're machine washable too. Throw them in the wash. They turn out really great. It's like you always have a fresh new pair. Thank you, Rothy's, a longtime sponsor
Thank
of
you,
the
Rothy's.
podcast. So now we're going to dive in. What do you want to start with first? We're not going to start with feet first. I promised I would save that for a little bit later.
Well,
Even though we just talked about Rothy's, I should talk about feet. But anyway, we're saving it.
Well, just real quick, I hadn't seen my friend Jeff in a while. Bad Influence Jeff, and we inaugurated a new member into the train team.
Oh my!
Yeah, we did tonight. Yeah, we did. So, yeah,
we share any details?
No,
about?
I can't. No,
Why?
I just can't. It's too early to share those details. But we met at a place called D. Lincoln's.
What's his first initial?
#M.
So he's M Train?
He's M Train.
All right.
And he was looking at us like we were from another planet. He's like,
he's
what
not
the,
on board.
He's like, what the hell are y'all talking?
He's not on board.
Well, he's on board. He's on board.
Does he do that annoying yelling of it yet?
No,
Not there.
no.
Does he is he already ordering his vanity plate
no,
for his car?
No, I showed him mine. He's in finance.
So that's probably not very
He
professional.
knew Dan Sullivan.
That's our financial guy.
He knew Dan Sullivan for 20 years.
Well, I have too.
He's got dirt on Dan Sullivan. Just kidding, Dan. I'm just kidding.
Well,
he had no dirt.
I
on him.
might as well.
Dan Sullivan is squeaky clean.
Yeah, he's
great.
great.
But anyway, no, we had a good time. I'm just joking. We had a good time. We were just talking about the restaurant and everything that's going on, and just kind of catching up.
Well, do you want to go ahead and, since we're talking restaurant, announce the names of the smokers?
No, we're going to leave that to the end because that's the big payoff.
All right. Well,
That's the big payoff.
then let's get to the probing questions.
Okay, we're going to do probing questions first. So Kelly and I did what we're doing. We did the first 12 questions on the last podcast.
Podcast before last.
So
You can go back if you want to hear the first 12.
Yeah.
It was called a sandwich and some probing questions, I do believe.
And these are questions that you would ask your significant other or your partner or the person that you're maybe dating if you want to get to know them really fast. Okay? So this is a little exercise you could do. Kelly and I did the first 12 on the first podcast.
We're going to do 12 more right now.
We're going to do 12 more.
I wonder how our answers will differ. You know, the first time we did this, we were both sober.
Right.
The second time, only one of us is. So
Right.
it might have have an impact on one of our answers.
Now, here's the deal.
Or both.
Now, here's the deal. These questions get, I don't know if the right word is harder, but they get deeper and deeper.
Okay. Well, some of them we might have to say it's just too personal to discuss. Maybe.
I mean, I'll pull back the kimono.
As you often do.
I've pulled back the kimono many times on this podcast. I'll keep
right.
pulling it back so you can see it all. Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Okay, so here's set 2, and this is from, and we mentioned this on the podcast before
You
last.
need to give credit again.
Yes, in Mandy Lynn Catron's modern love essay, To Fall in Love with Anyone, Do This.
With anyone.
Yes. She refers to a study by the psychologist Arthur Aron. This explores whether intimacy with two strangers can be accelerated by having them ask each other a specific series of personal questions.
Oh, so they have to be strangers.
Well, yeah, we're kind of bending the rules.
So if
a
you
little
already
bit.
know each other, that's half the
You
battle.
can still do this.
I'm saying that's half the battle.
Right. The 36 questions in the study, which were broken out in 3 12-question groups, are broken up into 3 sets, each set intended to be more probing than the others. Okay?
Okay, here we go. Part 2.
Okay, here goes. Part 2. Question 13. Babe.
I have no idea what he's going to ask, by the
No,
way.
I don't know these either. I haven't read these either.
You didn't do any research?
No.
All right.
13. If a crystal ball could tell you the truth about yourself, your life, the future, or anything else, what would you want to know?
Well, see, you're not supposed to mess with that, right? You're not supposed to mess with that. That's of the devil.
It's like,
But
it's like Terminator
not.
stuff.
Let's not pretend it's of the
knowing the
devil.
future, what's going to happen in the future.
I would like to know.
How is this devil stuff?
Messing with the future and stuff. It's devil stuff. You're not supposed to mess with that. It's spirits. You're not supposed to mess with that.
We're not messing with
but I'm
the
pretending
future.
it's not of the devil just
Let me
for a
read
minute.
the question
I'm
one more
suspending
time.
my belief in the devil.
If a crystal ball could tell you the truth about yourself, your life, the future, or anything else, what would you want to know?
Well, obviously, it'd be something in the future, something I have a big question about. I guess, do I want to be selfish and know? My whole thing is I've always had bag lady syndrome, and I've always had this fear that I'm going to be homeless one day. I'm kind of past that point, but I guess I want to just know how things are going to end up for me. So I guess I'd like to visualize not necessarily how I'm going to die, but how I would be spending my final days, right? And that might, do I have the ability to change the course of the future? That would also be important too. Because if you can't change it, and then it's a horrible ending, then what's the point of knowing that? Maybe blissfully unaware would be better. But if I could see the future and say, much like It's a Wonderful Life. What was that? Is it A Wonderful Life? What was the one with the Christmas where? Yeah, it's wait, which is the one where he went back and the angel had his
Wonderful
wings?
Life,
It's
right?
Wonderful Life, yeah. And I could change things, and be like, oh, I don't want to die alone, in a nursing home or something. I would take steps to change that course of history. So I'd like to know how I'd spend like the last few days of my life.
Really?
I guess. I mean, I could say I'd like to see how, our kids turn out, and hopefully they're happy. But, let's be honest, we're probably all more selfish than that, right?
I'm not, because it's interesting you answer it that way. I have a good feeling about where I think our relationship will be, like at the end of my life, your life.
If you can conquer this drinking problem.
Well, it's not a problem.
I'm joking.
And everybody who has a problem says it's not a problem.
That's a joke. I was joking.
Babe.
You don't have a drinking problem. I'm saying you don't have a drinking problem.
I'm trying to make a
joke.
serious point here, and you're mocking me.
I'm sorry. Drunky drunk.
I have a good feeling about where our relationship will be in, say,
sweet.
10 years.
That's
I'm
very sweet.
serious.
You mean financially or romantically or connect? What do you mean? How? Because I was telling you I had bag lady syndrome.
Just being happy.
Okay,
I
just
don't
happiness
know.
in general.
Financially, romantic, just being happy.
Okay.
Now, probably the biggest question mark in my life right now is, how will my relationship be with my daughter?
Yeah, that is your most pressing.
What will that look like in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years?
Yeah.
So if I could have a crystal ball that would tell me something about that, man, I'd want to know that.
Yeah.
I'd want to know that, because right now I don't know.
And if you had the answer, then you know how to live accordingly.
Yeah.
That there's hope, or
Exactly.
because sometimes you see the future and it might not be the answer you want.
Exactly.
Right?
So seriously, I mean,
I believe you.
That's probably the biggest question I have.
Look at me and my selfish self. I just want to know what's up.
No,
I don't want to be alone and sad in a, stinky nursing home by myself when nobody comes to see me.
And I'm not saying what am I trying to say? I'm not saying I'm overconfident about our relationship, overconfident about
You're secure.
Anything else. Not even like not even overly secure. I just feel more confident about that than I do in how my relationship with my daughter will turn out.
Yeah.
So if I had a crystal ball, I wish it could tell me something about that. Okay, number 14. Is there something that you've dreamed of doing for a long time? Why haven't you done it?
Well, fear holds you back, because fear of the unknown. What have I wanted to? Well, I wanted to be a decorator and sign up for a college course, and it was really hard, not at all what I wanted to do. And I was supposed to get back in touch with that lady who was going to New York, and we were supposed to get together, and there I go. I didn't follow through with that. So what would I do? I really want to be a powerful public speaker, but I'm just paralyzed by fear. I keep, and Alan has witnessed it, and he doesn't, and people just, if you don't have that seizing fear, it's really hard for people to understand. So I wish what is the question again?
If there's something you've dreamed of doing for a long time,
I wish
what
I could
is
be
it, and why haven't you done it?
Fear. I wish I could be a powerful motivational speaker. They have come in and command a room, like Oprah. not that I want to talk show or anything, just like command a room where people come to hear you speak and you have something to share that's beautiful. I would love to be able to do that, but I'm afraid.
I think fear holds a lot of people back.
Yeah.
And, mine sound kind of shallow. We do bucket lists, and they're usually things I like to knock out because I've never done them in my life. And it sounds really stupid and really just pipe dreamish, but skydiving, climbing a mountain, like a 14,000 foot mountain. Seriously,
You got to train for that.
I'm not bullshitting. These are like dreams that I have.
You've never shared those with me.
Well,
You do a yearly bucket list, but you've never mentioned those two things.
But I read a lot of books about mountain climbing, and I'm interested in that. But these are things that I guess are more kind of physical type accomplishments that I really wish I could do someday. I don't know.
Start training.
But why haven't I done them? Fear, time. Would people think I'm stupid for doing something like that?
Well, no, a lot of people jump out of planes. A lot of people, do it tandem. But my goodness, didn't just a couple weeks ago, the tandem diver and the girl that dived with him both died? That was awful. On that note, question
15.
15.
Question 15. What is the greatest accomplishment of your life?
Well, everybody's going to say having your child, right?
I don't
We're
know.
taking that out of the equation.
Please answer the question.
Well, it was a long struggle of infertility, and I finally accomplished my goal of motherhood. And it's a struggle, and it's often aggravating and frustrating, and you feel defeated. But that was to accomplish a successful pregnancy was huge for me, and having a good second marriage. How do you pick? My career has been pretty successful on the radio. I've won some nice awards and things, but I think if it all boils down to it, I think it would be, finally achieving motherhood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's what I thought you would say. Yeah. That's a tough one to answer, babe.
It is.
What is the greatest accomplishment of your life? It would be probably easy for me to say, well, being part of, creating 3 new lives is quite an accomplishment, and I wouldn't diminish that. Gosh, I would probably say, other than those 3 things that are obviously huge, I would probably say, after being married as long as I was married and having 3 kids and then having a life that was totally, it's almost like I was totally starting from scratch again, and having to learn how to
be single,
take care of children by myself, kind of just learn about myself again and trying to figure out a bunch of stuff in my life, especially in your 40s, and then landing on my feet without kind of, going on and on and on about it. The greatest,
without going completely off the deep
end.
I think you survived it.
Right. The greatest accomplishment would kind of be going through all that in my life, which is a very traumatic experience. I know a lot of our listeners have been through that too. Divorce with children, and then landing on your feet and pressing on, and then things working out for you. That's to me, just personally for me, that was an accomplishment.
That's good.
And a lot of people wouldn't look at me and say, "Oh, that's a big."
Well, they also don't know the story of what you went through,
right? And only what you're going through.
It was a lot, yeah.
For me, and what I was going through, and what was in my head, and getting through all that was the biggest accomplishment for me. 16. What do you value most in a friendship?
Well, I have been told that I am an extremely loyal friend, and I take that as a huge compliment. So I would say loyalty is very important.
Yeah.
If I only pick one thing,
because
it's important to me.
You can pick more than one.
Well, just loyalty.
Loyalty?
Yeah, stick with you, stick by your side. I see people so many times, you say you're friends, but when the going gets rough, where are you? They're gone.
Yeah.
So, the ones that are there for you when things aren't so great.
Mm-hmm.
Loyalty.
Okay. What do you value most in a friendship? I would say, I don't have a lot of friends. I really don't. I have a few friends, and the ones I have, though, I feel like they like me just because I'm me. They don't like me because of whatever, this or that, or what I have or don't have, or I don't know how to explain it. What I drive or don't drive. They just like me because I'm Allen. And I guess, what I value most is somebody. Acceptance. Just somebody who looks at me and is like, this guy's just a dude. This is Allen. And I like Allen because I like hanging out with Allen. It's hard to find people like that. Mm-hmm. So I think that would be, I guess, what's the right word? Being genuine? Mm-hmm. Somebody who's genuine looks at you like you're just a person and not anything other than that. I don't know. That's how I would say it. Number 17. What is your most treasured memory?
Oh my goodness. See, how do you pick one?
Yeah, that's tough. That's really tough. What is your most treasured memory?
I mean, I've had some great things happen to me. So, I mean, I went to my, I have some great memories. Is it my most treasured one? I don't know. It's, like there's little moments in time, like when John Bon Jovi took me to a strip club. That was a great memory, right?
Well, because
is it my most treasured memory?
Well, because it was fun.
Is it when,
right?
And because it's my job, it's like, but okay, let me take it away from being, on the radio and everything that my celebrity has afforded me. I'm not really a celebrity, but I mean, being in my job, I hang around a lot of radio people, so there's that. But I think one of my most treasured memories is the day that I called my best friend since 5th grade, Tommy Jean, on the phone. This is a very special, and it was that whole day, there was a lot of, it was the darkest time, but I had a couple of really great things happen to me that day that I still treasure is, I called my dad. Well, I don't know if I called my parents first or Tommy Jean, honestly, but she was on the very next plane out of Florence to come be with me. And that was a big deal. It was a very big deal. She just stopped. She had 2 kids, little kids, like elementary school age kids. She dropped everything, said, Greg, I'm at her husband, like, take care of it. I'm on the next plane. That's huge. Mm-hmm. That's huge. And then that same day, I was so devastated about getting a divorce, and there was a lot going on, and I'm just sobbing, and I talked to my dad about it. And my dad, because I thought they were going to be so disappointed in me because, I thought divorce used to be way more taboo. Now everybody gets divorced. It's like, that's not a big deal.
Well,
it used to be more taboo to get it.
Yeah, it used to be a lot more taboo.
Now it's more easy to get, and
half,
marriages are disposable.
50%,
yeah, marriages are disposable, and I was just devastated. And I thought my parents were going to be so disappointed in me. And I felt like, for better, for worse, still sickness and health, till death you part. You do it in the church, in the eyes of God. And my dad said, but he doesn't believe that our God, our Father in heaven, would want us to stay in just because we said I do. We assume that we got married in the eyes of God. That's the one God picked for us. No, we just often talk ourselves into it like, this must be the one for me because I love him so good, and all that goes with it. But he said, why would God want you to spend the rest of your life so unhappy? And I'm like, you know what? That's right. Our God is just like our Father. He's our heavenly Father, but just like our earthly daddies, they want their kids to be happy. Isn't that all you want for your child? Mm-hmm. You want them to be happy. Now, does that mean, they're millionaire successes, or they just have a really happy family life, and a good, strong marriage and a career they're proud of and kids they love? And, that's what you want, is just happiness for your kid. And I'm like, that made me feel so much better. So talking to my dad that day, as my best friend since 5th grade was packing a bag and heading to the airport to come be with me, the day my husband left me.
Oh,
Isn't that finding the rose among the thorns?
Mm-hmm. What question were we on?
Most treasured memory.
Treasured memory.
Wasn't that it?
Yeah, treasured memory. Treasured memory.
I mean, one of them. I mean, your proposal to me. I mean, but I'm trying to think of ones that aren't so obvious, you know?
Well, you should just think of the first thing you think of.
Well, I was trying to go back and think of something that was so obvious. My proposal was beautiful, but we've talked about that, you know, where he truly surprised me. I really didn't see it coming.
You were surprised.
And that's all I wanted. I said, I want to be surprised. Even though I knew I was getting engaged, I still wanted to be surprised. And people had tried to pull surprises on me before. And I have a friend I shall not name who hates surprises. And because she hates surprises, she assumes I hate surprises. And she would always ruin them for me. But for once, it wasn't ruined.
No, because I didn't tell anybody.
That's right.
I didn't tell a soul.
That was very special. I love that true, genuine shock because I didn't see it coming. That's a special memory too.
You know, treasured memory. It's easy to say again. It's easy to say
the birth of your children.
Well, when you see your kids for the first time.
Yeah, I know.
It's really easy to say.
I was trying to think of one that was more because I have so many.
No, yeah, I do too. But I think, like Kelly says, when I think back to, you know, when Kelly and I first started going out, and we've talked about this on the podcast, like the first couple of times we went out, it was fine. We were really fine. We had a good time, but it wasn't like fireworks or anything. We weren't all like being sloppy over each other. We were very fine with each other. But then the more we went out, the more fun we had, I think. And, I just look back to that time in 2016, 2017 as, if I was going to pick
just the whole year,
one treasured memory, it would just be that time in my life because I had been through so much crap and I had been down to the very bottom. And then, I was doing fine, but then I met Kelly and then things just clicked and took off and everything was just better, And if I think about a time that I was really the most happy, it was probably that 16, 17 time frame.
That's fine.
But that was a very, very special time.
It was. Don't you wish you could all go back and fall in love all over again? That's fun, right? Falling in love is fun. It's scary.
Yeah, that was a fun time.
It's fun.
18. What is your most terrible memory?
Well, lying on the bed, sobbing, the noises coming out of my body that I've never heard before or since because my husband left. That was that one. That was pretty horrible.
Yeah.
Kid Craddock dying.
Yeah.
That was horrible.
Yeah.
That was horrible. And I've never been taken to the room at the hospital where they walk you into the room. You find out very quickly what the room is. And that's when we all knew he was dead. It was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Oh, man.
We're very lucky. We still have our parents, and one day that's probably going to, if things play out the way they're supposed to do in this life, then losing your parent, I'd imagine, is extremely, extremely awful. And we're both so lucky we haven't gone through that pain yet.
Yeah, but that reminds me of, most terrible memory. I mean, I guess there's two or three that just pop into my head. One is my grandma Evans. She passed away when I was young, and she was really pretty young, and she passed away from cancer. And I don't remember a lot, but I remember when I was small. And I just remember my mom and dad being really sad, and I remember us having to drive to Atlanta, and then I remember being in a funeral home. I do remember that, and I was probably 6 or 7, and I remember everybody, just being really sad, and I don't remember any details, but I can just remember
the sadness,
and I remember my dad being sad, and I'm like,
you'd never seen your dad.
I'd never
like that
seen
before.
my dad cry, so I can remember that. So I never really knew my grandma that well, my grandma Evans, but after she passed, I would go see my grandpa Evans every summer. My mom and dad would put me on a plane and go see my grandpa Evans because he was by himself, and we got to be really close, and we got to hang out a lot, and I remember him really well.
That's good.
I remember him really well. But I'm fine, guys. But that was not cool. I still remember that to this day. And I guess, if I'm really opening up the kimono, oh gosh, probably when when you're in a relationship and you just know it's not working. And the day you find out it's not working.
That was me in the fetal position.
That was you in the fetal position.
On my bed.
And I had a day like that, And for me, it was like, wow.
This is what this feels like.
This is what this feels like. I didn't ever think this would happen to me, And, when from that moment, it hit me, I said, gosh, I've got to go talk to my mom and dad about this. I drove home. I went to Wichita Falls, and I told my mom and dad, this is what's going on. This is everything that's happened. And
they had no idea.
They had no idea.
Yeah.
And this is what's going to happen. And, it's a terrible memory, like me having to spill all that stuff to them. But then I guess the reverse part of it is what was so beautiful about that is they both said, listen, we love you no matter what. We understand and we support you. And whatever it is you need to do to move forward and get through this, we got you.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. Because I didn't know
count on
I didn't know what they were
parents.
going to say.
Yeah.
I didn't know if they're going to say, well,
go fix it.
Yeah, fix it. Or, well, you can't do that. Or
Yeah.
that's not what they said. They said, I understand. I totally get it. Just let us know and we'll be there for you. Yeah. So
that's good. That's good that we both have great relationships like that with our parents.
So gosh, that sounds
and we both went through some really shitty stuff.
That sounds that was the question was, what is your most terrible memory? Well, it was a terrible memory, and that's probably one of my most treasured memories too.
Yeah, right.
Okay, moving on. 19. If you knew that in 1 year you were to die suddenly, what would you change? Would you change anything about the way you were living?
Oh yeah.
And why?
Right. Well, you would probably I'd probably work a little bit longer because I have such a strong relationship. I hope everybody listening to me feels that way. I would want to have that time to, I've been in the Dallas-Fort Worth area for 26 years. We've been syndicated for many, many years. So I've got, a huge, and then our podcast family, I would want to have time to, say my goodbyes and do all that. So I wouldn't just not show up for work the next day, but I consider that family. And then I would probably, go to all my family and friends, and I would just carve out little chunks of time to spend with each person who's important to me. And then, once I've just be with the people you love. Now, I would love to go to Italy or stuff like that one day. But, when it boils down to it, I've seen pictures of Italy. I'd rather just I don't care. One of my favorite places in the world to be is in my Aunt Velma's living room. Because when I go home to South Carolina, I don't want to go and run around and do a lot of stuff. I want to sit in my Aunt Velma's living room. I want my cousins all to come over, and we're going to all sit there and tell the same stories we've told 50 times. We're all going to laugh like we've never heard them before. And, it's just great. And my parents, I'd love them to be there. That's what I want to do. Be with all the people I love, but carve out little special chunks of time, individual time with everyone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. 1 year you would die suddenly. What would you change about the way you are living now? Gosh, I guess that's a tough one, but I think what I would do is, you don't sit down, I think, with my kids are 8, 12 and 15
and almost 14.
And Emma Kelly's 14 or almost 14. You don't sit down with children that are that young and really get real deep about stuff a lot. But I think what I would do is probably try to record a video for each one of them and just say, hey, this is kind of what's led me to this point in my life. And this is where I see you going. And this is where I see,
one of those things people do, play this on the day you graduate high school,
right.
Play this on your wedding day,
right.
Play this,
And if I'm not around, this is what I wish for you. And this is, how maybe I would do things if you get to this point in your life, but maybe try to do a video for each one of them. As far as changing things, I mean, I don't know. I don't really regret anything that I'm doing in my life right now to where I would say I would change it. I would
you
just
travel. There's places you've been wanting to see.
Yeah, maybe travel. I'd probably want to spend a lot more time with the people closest to me.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
I don't care where we are.
Yeah. But as far as changing the type of person I am, I don't know that I would do that.
No.
But I'd sure want to spend a lot of time with them if I only had 1 year left. That's a tough one. I'd probably do a video for sure. What does 20? What does friendship mean to you?
Oh my goodness, I feel like we've already covered that.
No.
Loyalty. That's the thing you value most in a friendship. It's people that are there for you.
No, it was what do you value most in a friendship?
Yeah, well, that's what friendship
this
means
question
to me.
is, what does friendship mean to you?
It means somebody who is loyal to you, loves you for who you are. And, if everything went away, let me tell you, if I wasn't on the radio tomorrow, I might not be hanging out with some of the people in my life right now. And, that's true for anybody. If you have a lot of work friends, but if you left that job tomorrow, would you still be friends with those people? They're in your life for reasons. But, that's what, for me, a true friendship is somebody who is there, always there, and loyal.
Mm-hmm.
That's what friendship is to me. Which goes back to the other question, I think.
So friendship.
It's kind of redundant.
So you have, in our listeners, you have people in your life who are your family, and you have people in your life who are your friends. And the people who are your family, to me, your family, it's always boggled in my mind. You watch TV and you see somebody like Jeffrey Dahmer, and he's in court, and his parents are there, and they're crying because he's being sentenced to life in prison or the death penalty. And you're like, how could you be like crying for this monster?
Because that's still their son.
Because that's his family. So you have, your family. It's like unconditional love. There's really not a lot they could do where you would say, I just don't love that person anymore. I'm sure there are exceptions, I'm sure. And there's probably people that are listening. They're like, yeah, there's someone in my family I don't love anymore. But it'd be very difficult for you to not love somebody that's your blood related
Okay,
to.
but what about your friends?
Now, your friends, I think that's a little different. They could probably do something where you would say,
Bye.
I don't love you anymore. I don't like you anymore. So I think there's a difference there. So I think, a true friend is somebody who's almost family-like, but they can still do something that's going to really piss you off. But even if they do something like that,
They're close enough to family.
You're still going to say, all right, man. All right. I'm still with you. To me, that would be a true friend. And that's what friendship would mean to me, is like, they're almost that family. 21. What roles do love and affection play in your life?
Well, I think they're huge, but it's not like this.
Huge.
What is, people have different love languages, right? So love language to me, from what I'm learning about myself, what makes me feel loved is when, I think it's acts of service, because I feel loved and respected when, like my daughter, I spend hours doing her laundry, and all I ask her to do is put it away, and it sits there for a week, and I don't feel very loved. But, like when you do something for me, you surprise me with, it's not necessarily gifts, but like I always have a honey-do list. And when you take care of those things on that list, I feel so loved. So, is that what love means to me? Is just having people do stuff for me? I don't mean that. That's my love language. That shows me that you love me when you care enough to want to make me happy by doing things. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? If you just, didn't care about me and didn't want to show me love, you just would never do anything, right?
Yeah.
But I feel loved.
Okay.
You do
good.
You do a lot. But we're not, and Alan can be really romantic. He can be very sweet and loves to do surprises, and he'll pop up with flowers randomly, which is so sweet and special. But, we don't waltz in the, like you see on TV. We're not dancing in front of a fireplace at night, dancing in the rain. It's not like that. I think love for me is very practical.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Am I talking too much about it?
No. It's what it means to you. What does it mean to you?
And love to me is I like practical, tangible love. I like the fun butterfly stuff, and that's great. But a lot of you know that once those feelings go away, you suddenly feel like, oh, I must not be in love anymore because I don't have those same butterflies every time they walk in the room. So I'm out of love. I'm going to go move on to the next one. But that's not truly what the love is. It's is wanting to make that other person happy by doing little things for them and stuff like that, So for me, it's very practical and tangible.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I guess for me, it would be a little different because I just think back to, I think back to being after I was divorced and I was single, and when the kids weren't with me, and just sitting there like, wow, it's quiet. It's so quiet. What am I going to do?
Every once in a while, that's nice.
Right. And that's fun to go out and drink and hang out with, ladies and do all that stuff. But
spend your paycheck.
Right. But as far as what roles do love and affection play in your life, any guy that tells you like he's fine being single and he's fine dating a million women and drinking and carousing and doing whatever, he's a lying son of a bitch. Because I've been there and I've done that.
It's fun for a minute.
I have been there, done that.
It's fun for a minute, right?
And every man needs, like every other human being, needs love and affection. And I just remember, I guess the point I was trying to make is just being by myself. It was so quiet and so lonely that a lot of times I was just like, man, this really freaking sucks. And I really wish I could find somebody, and we've talked about it on the podcast. How
you found me.
I did, but it took a while.
The practical lover.
I don't know if I'm answering the question. Love and affection is important to men as much as it is important to women, in my opinion.
Yeah, but the love language might be different.
Right.
So that's really important to understand because, some people, you can tell them you love them all day, but if you don't show them, you don't demonstrate it, they don't feel loved. Or other people, like some women say, my husband never tells me he loves me, but he thinks, I'm showing her I love her every day. I go out and work for her. I buy her all these nice things. I come home. I don't go out with my friends. I don't drink too much and stuff like that. And he thinks he's showing you he loves you, but you don't hear it. So it's really, you just got to get on that. You got to understand each other's language.
Yeah. And for a man, just we'll finish this up. Maybe we'll do a little something and then finish with the last three questions.
Well, then we got to feet talk. You might as well finish. Let's just plow through.
Well, we've got three.
Let's not just take so much time.
Okay,
on each of them.
But real quick, love and affection for a man. That you've got the physical stuff, and then you've got the really emotional, like connecting stuff. Not hard to find the physical stuff. The emotional. Connecting, I feel safe, I feel comfortable, I get this is something I want to be in. That's really hard to find. So,
did you find it?
Yes, babe.
Thank you.
But the roles, finding that connecting is much more
difficult.
No, it is difficult. Enriching, fulfilling. It is much more fulfilling than it is.
Just the sex.
Oh, just pounding ass every night.
Oh, that's so romantic, honey.
All right.
Let's wrap this podcast up.
Okay. We got three more questions. What are we going to do?
I was joking.
You got a little something?
No, you're going to do those, and then we're going to do that, and then the feet.
I mean,
all right, I'll go. Alan really wants.
Go ahead. We got to do this.
Alan really wants me to do this.
We got to pay some bills.
That's right. Here we go. So another longtime sponsor. Thank you so much to Stamps.com because they were here before the pandemic. They are here now. They're going to be here when everything gets 100% back to normal. With Stamps.com.
Stamps.com.
A lot of small businesses needed to keep their doors open, and they were doing everything they could to survive during some really rough times. But with Stamps.com. when you couldn't just go to the post office whenever you wanted, you had to buckle down, and we were all trying to stay home more. You can do everything that you needed to do at the post office right from the comfort, safety, and privacy of your own home. You can print any postage for any class of mail. You're shipping out little, flyers, little postcards to advertise your business. If you've got boxes and boxes, lucky you, of stuff people have bought from your business, and you got to ship it out to them, you can print that postage with stamps.com to anywhere in the world. And the cool thing about stamps.com is you can get discounts with stamps.com that you cannot negotiate for yourself. You try walking up to the counter and asking the person behind the counter, can I please have a nickel off this first class stamp? They're going to say, what do I look like? No. But stamps.com has done that. You can save up to 5 cents on a first class stamp. You can even get UPS services with discounts up to 62% and no residential surcharges. You just use your computer to print the official U.S. postage whenever it works for you. And once it's ready, you leave it for your mail carrier. You can schedule a pickup or you drop it in a mailbox. It is really that simple. Again, for savings of up to 62% off USPS and UPS shipping rates with no residential surcharges, it's really a no-brainer to use stamps.com.
And right now, our listeners get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial, plus free postage and a digital scale without any long-term commitment. Just go to stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage, and type in sandwich. That's stamps.com, enter sandwich.
All right, babe. Let's wrap up these probing questions. I got to get to some feet.
Woo! These probing questions are deep.
Yeah, but let's not.
Well, babe, hey,
it's just too deep.
Let's not jip the listener. This is supposed to. We're supposed to be opening up the kimono.
Yeah, but we're just supposed to be giving them little examples of how they can use these questions, not unloading all of our business.
We're supposed to unload all our business.
All right.
Okay. We have 3 more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Question 22. Alternate sharing something you consider a positive characteristic of your partner. Share a total of 5 items. So we're going to go back and forth. You first.
5 positive things?
5 things you consider positive characteristics about your partner.
Look at Alan's face.
Share
if
a total
watching of... You're already saying you're not going to be able to come up with 5.
That's my eyes are closing and I'm drunk face.
Are you really fading?
No, I'm fine.
All right, 5 things, but we're going to alternate. But I have a feeling a lot of ours are going to be like, oh, yeah, I feel that way too. Okay, number 1, Alan does not hold on to things for a long time. If we do get in fights, as couples do, but I've never known you to be mad at me like for an entire day. So I like the fact that you're able to get past an argument fairly quickly.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think the first one I have for you is I think you truly care.
Aw, so sweet.
No, I think you truly care about me and my happiness. Not just me, but really everybody. I think you care about people and are they happy? Whether
That's
it's
nice.
my dad came over the other day and you're asking him, I mean, Mr. Evans, or do you call him Dad?
I'm trying.
You threw down a dad. You called him Dad. You said, Dad, do you want some tea?
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I'm trying. It's really hard.
No, I think you really do care about people.
When I grew up, everybody elder than me, I would call Mr. or Mrs., right? And I know it means a lot to Alan's parents for me to call them Mom and Dad. And it's kind of, I'm not used to that. So I've been working on it. And you noticed.
Mm-hmm. I did notice.
Weird.
I noticed.
I was like,
I notice
Dad.
everything.
Dad.
I see
for the
everything.
longest time, I just wouldn't address them because I was like, I didn't know what to say. Because I knew they wanted me to do that. And so I would just like wait till I make eye contact. You want some tea?
It hurts their feelings when you don't call them that.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's why I had to get past that natural inclination I do to call them Mr. and Mrs. Evans. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on it because
Mm-hmm.
I do care. I appreciate the fact that you're not afraid to show your emotions, that you can cry in front of me and not be embarrassed. You're very sensitive.
Well, maybe I am embarrassed.
You don't act like it.
This is kind of related to what I said about Kelly in the first answer, but Kelly, Kellie cares.
You just said I care.
I know, but I was talking about people. Now, this is more on a... Kellie cares about a lot of stuff, guys. Like, if you saw, like, the little things she sweats, whether it's getting the right groceries or doing something at work or, did she say the right thing on the air, or... is the office okay? Because I've been using your office.
I
and
destroyed his desk.
Right. Kellie really cares about a lot of things. And I'm sometimes like, well, yeah, it's fine, babe. You don't have to sweat that, but she really does. She cares about a lot of things that you would think, well, why are you even sweating that?
Devil's in the details, babe.
There you go, babe.
Devil's in the details.
Yep.
Number 3, I admire the fact that you have a great fashion sense, that you put time and effort into looking good. When you got ready to go out tonight, I even noticed you wore your necklace, you wore your bracelets. He accessorizes just perfectly, and I am proud to be seen on his arm. You are my arm candy.
Is it because I'm a modern man?
Yes, you're my modern younger man, in fact. I like the fact that you
thanks,
have a good
babe.
fashion sense. You cannot say that about me. Alan told me last week, why do you have all these clothes in your closet? You wear the same 5 things. I'm like, we're in quarantine.
It's true, though.
I just wear my comfy dresses that have no waistband.
I mean, you'll throw
Doesn't
on...
help when I have to zip up something.
I mean, you'll throw on a t-shirt dress and just rock it.
love
You'll
it.
rock it for freaking months.
I love a t-shirt dress.
Oh. Gosh, all mine kind of meld into like...
Are you going to say I care?
No, I'm not going to say you care. I'm going to say that Kellie she's a pleaser. She wants you to be happy. She always wants you to be happy. Like if Kellie...
Because I care.
If Kellie makes me like a food for dinner, and she doesn't cook, she'll tell you.
Not great.
She doesn't cook a lot.
I'm not great.
And it's not one of her strongest traits.
No.
But man, I tell you what.
When I come close.
When she puts down that food and I'm cutting into it, she's like on the edge of her seat. It's like, I just really hope this is good, and I really hope you like it. And I'm thinking, wow, it's really nice that you even care that I like it. So she's like that. I could give you 100. I could give you 100 examples about that, but she's a pleaser for sure.
All right, number 4. I think I love that your artistic ability. You're very talented and creative, and I love the fact that this might be 2 different things, but I'm going to tie them into one. Is that when you focus on something, you work at it. You don't. Some things, like we were talking about our son Dylan the other day, come so naturally to him. He just picks it up and does it. With you, some things do come naturally, but if it's something you're really passionate about, you study it and you learn all about it. You research it and you spend hours and you devote yourself. And that's something I don't have. It's like, I would love to paint. And so Alan heard me say that, and he goes and buys me all this stuff at the beginning of quarantine. I'm like, oh, this is too hard. And so I just put it down and never do it. But you're the exact opposite. You wanted to learn about landscaping, so you are an expert. You want to learn about photography. You spend hours learning it. So you're very good. You're very talented.
Well, thank you, babe.
And committed.
Well, thank you. Am I supposed to answer? What
That's
am I
number
doing?
4.
I'm
believe
doing
it
number,
or not.
I'm doing number 4.
I said we were going to be concise, and I'm dragging out.
One thing I really appreciate about Kellie is how how she treats the children, or my kid, not my kids, your kids, but all the kids, and how she's really, and again, this kind of goes back to the pleasing and how caring she is, but she makes the lunches for my kids, like for the boys, every time we have them, she'll make lunches for them. And I can't tell you how big a deal that is, because I did it when I was by myself, and it was always just...
It's a beating.
It's a beating, and you're tired at night. And the last thing you want to do is start packing up a bunch of lunches. Kellie does it every time, and she really is she's very caring about what she puts in the lunchbox. She always asks the kids if this is good or that's good, or can I get anything at the grocery store for you? Is this what you want?
Are you trying to say I care?
Yeah, but you're very the word is nurturing. You're very
Oh, that's sweet. I love that word. I am very nurturing. I'm very mothering.
To the boys, to me, it's you're nurturing. You know, you want them to, you're their bonus mom. You're trying to play that motherly role, I guess. It's nurturing, and I appreciate that.
See, I probably shouldn't have tied that last one into the fourth one because now I'm like, another compliment. But I mean, you're masculine. I like the fact that you can, you're masculine. Like when you need, you don't ever have to put your foot down with me.
I am.
But sometimes you kind of have to put your foot down with me. And I'll be honest, I don't like it in the moment, but it's pretty damn sexy.
Babe.
There you go. That was number 5.
What do you mean? Like, give an example.
No, when I'm like, you'd have to say, stop that.
Oh, when I'm just fed up?
Yeah, when you put your foot down.
Oh, when I'm finally fed up?
Yeah, I'm saying I don't like it in the moment.
What do I do? What do I do? Tell me about what I do. What do I do?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Do I get real, does my voice get real deep?
Yeah, it's very sexy, honey. Stop it. Just do your 5th one so we can move on.
Okay. And then my 5th one is, and anybody that, knows Kelly or is a fan of Kelly, they would say, well, my word would be impressive. And this is something my dad said. I mean, my dad said about me a long, long time ago. And I was like, wow, that's a really, really strong word. Why would you? Impressive to me, it's like, you carry yourself well. You're impressive in front of people. The way you treat people is impressive. The way you dress is impressive. Your physical appearance.
I'm saying 5 things all the time.
Your physical appearance is impressive. Impressive is just being like maybe charismatic, impressive. Like you look at that person, it's like, wow, this is Kelly. This is impressive.
Wow.
So
sometimes impressions aren't always good.
There you go.
But I leave an impression.
There you go.
All right, let's move on. Let's wrap this up.
Okay, 23. How close and warm is your family? Do you feel your childhood was happier than most other people's?
I had a fun, we had our ups and downs and things, but I think I love growing up in the South. I'm so thankful that I grew up in South Carolina. I loved having a ditch in the backyard. My daddy was the baby of 12. My mother was from a smaller family, but I had, coming from the raspberries. It's a beautiful family tree, a very colorful family tree. Very loving, and nobody's afraid to say I love you. And did that answer the question?
Yeah, you did. I too had a very close and warm family. My family was not as big as Kelly's family. My dad has one brother. He lived out of the state. He didn't live in Texas. He doesn't have any children, so I didn't have any cousins on the Evans side. All my mother's family lived in the Philippines. So I didn't have any extended family here in the States.
Yeah, there was nothing like a raspberry family reunion.
I didn't have
great.
I didn't have that. I had my mom and dad and my sister. That's what I had. But it was very close, and I think I've said this before on the podcast. I wasn't real super tight with my sister because I was 6 years older. But we're better friends now that I'm older than we were when I was.
Well, that's true for me and my brother.
Yeah,
we're 2 years apart.
When I was younger. And then 24, here's the last one, babe, of our second set. How do you feel about your relationship with your mother?
Oh, my mother and I get along great. I need to spend more time with her than I do. But my mother and I make each other laugh. We enjoy each other's company. So my relationship's great. I didn't really, when I was a teenager, I stopped going to her with a lot of my stuff because my mother, I'm loud, I'm opinionated, and but when I go to my mother, if I was having a problem with somebody, she's like, well, what did you do? She would never be the mom that says, everybody else is wrong and you're the best. You're the best. Don't you let anybody. My mother was always like, well, what did you do? Are you giving off? I was like, no boys like me. She goes, well, you do give off a bad vibe. That's what my mother would say. Like, you do give off a bad vibe. You stand there like you don't want anybody to talk to you. That honest relationship. But we laugh. We have a great time together. We really do. My mother's sweet, isn't she?
She's very, very sweet. I love your mother to death. She's one of those people. She walks in the room, you're just like,
you're so sweet.
You just want to give her a hug. She's very, very sweet. My relationship with my mother, I tell you what, if you Google Filipino moms, there's lots of jokes about how tough Filipino moms are, And one story I can tell you just real quick. I had a really good friend. I don't know if I've ever told you this. I have a really good friend who I went to college with. And one summer we came home. He was from Wichita Falls too. And he came over to my house. And it was after my freshman year. And his name was Todd. And my friend Todd came in the house and my mom was there. And Todd said, he was saying hello. And he said, "Hey, Mrs. Evans." He said, "Wow, Alan did really good at, Tech his first year. He was on the dean's list and he made a 3.5, for his whole first freshman year. I bet you're pretty proud." And she goes, "Well, it could have been a 4.0."
Yeah.
So my mom, I just remember my mom was always very tough. She always had
But she's very funny.
She had high expectations. But you didn't know her when I was younger.
No, I mean, I'm sure she, everybody gets a little lighter as they get older. But the first time I met her, I walk in the house, you're meeting your boyfriend's parents for the first time. And she's a tiny little thing. I'm 5'9". I used to be 5'9.5", 5'9". And how tall is your mom? Is she 5 foot?
5'1".
Maybe 5'1". And she just walks up to me and she jumps on top of an ottoman so we can see eye to eye. And that was the first time I met his mother. It was really cute.
Yeah. But my relationship's great with my mom. She was tough when I was a kid. Now that she's older, she's softened up. But,
I feel bad when I hear people say they have a turbulent relationship with their mothers.
No, it's not.
I mean, I went through that. I remember very vividly. My mom was slapping me across my face when I sassed her. And I remember where I was standing in the kitchen. I remember her hauling off and slapping me. And I was like, whoa, Connie Raspberry just slapped me across the face. Did I deserve it? Yes.
Okay, let's do this, babe. Here's what we're going to do. The skipper is going to call an audible.
I got to do this foot thing. I promise.
The skipper's going to call an audible here. We're going to do a little something, and we're gonna have to finish it up with the winners of the contest.
And just save the feet thing one more time. It's just too much. We've talked for entirely
we got too much.
Long.
Yep.
All right. I agree. It's been a stressful day for a lot of people, some more than others. But you know what? We have really enjoyed when we have those little knots and kinks and things we can't quite, when you've asked your man to rub your shoulders and he's like, "Kelly, just go grab the Theragun." That's become, "Kelly, just go get the Theragun." And I do love the Theragun because as a woman, I can take a lot of pressure. And I've found that when, my husband or, tries, they feel like, "Oh, I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to hurt you." I'm like, "No, do it harder. Do it harder." With Theragun, I can control how much pressure I want. And it is great pressure. And if you've never used a Theragun, you've seen the people use these, what are they called? Pressure, compression. What do they call those? Compression devices? Isn't that what they call those? Alan's not helping me at all right now. Think of this word, but it's a percussive therapy device.
Well, it's right there in the copy.
I couldn't find it, honey, and you weren't helping me.
No.
Now that you found it, it's so obvious, Alex Trebek. Anyway.
Whoa.
It releases.
Whoa.
Because he's a know-it-all.
Easy.
Well, he's a know-it-all, has all the answers.
Easy.
Anyway, Theragun, a handheld percussive therapy device. It releases that deep muscle tension using a scientifically calibrated combination of depth, speed, and power. Now as quiet as an electric toothbrush. The all-new Gen 4 Theragun, a proprietary brushless motor. It's so quiet. Sometimes you're like, have I got this turned on? And it'll soothe your aching muscles with their Theragun signature power, amplitude, and effectiveness. I'm telling you, I love it. What we are very impressed by is the battery life. That thing, you charge it. That's one thing. You've used stuff before. You charge it, and after we can use that thing for a long time. You're like, "It's out again." Stick it back in the charger for 10 hours. That is not the case with Theragun.
Not with
the
that
battery
Theragun.
Life lasts a long time. We've been very, very happy with it.
Try Theragun risk-free for 30 days. There's no substitute for the Theragun Gen 4 with an OLED screen, personalized Theragun app, and the quiet and power you need, starting at only $199. Go to Theragun.com/lovin' right now and get your Gen 4 Theragun today. That's Theragun.com/lovin'. One more time, babe. Theragun.com/lovin'.
Thank you, Theragun. We really enjoy you. I really apologize for not getting to the foot talk, and I like Alan, we have talked too long. So I promise
I don't
We
know
will
that a
talk
lot
about
of
it next
people
week.
are giving two bits about the foot
I
tug, babe. They
care.
want to know
It's
who won the damn
interesting.
contest.
I'm just saying, I apologize for not doing it. So we'll do it next week.
All right, guys.
Why'd you say a damn contest?
Oh.
Why'd you raise your voice at me?
Well,
Were
I
you
thought you
going
wanted
back
me-
when I said you put me in my place?
I thought
and
you
it's
wanted
so
me to.
sexy?
I thought you wanted me to be
Not
in
in that
charge.
moment. That was not cute or sexy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. So we've been running a contest to name the smokers. We've been running this for about a month now. Name the smokers.
We let it drag on, didn't we?
Send us your submissions for the smokers. We're going to pick we picked the top 15. Now, here's how this worked, guys. Kelly and I sent these 15. Now, we had our favorites. We did not tell the committee who selected the winners our favorites.
Right. And Alan and I did not agree.
We didn't agree. That's okay.
We didn't agree.
But we didn't tell the committee this.
We didn't give them any inclination what our favorites were.
We sent the committee the 15. Now, the committee consisted of
Chef Mike,
and several others who work in the restaurant.
that we can't remember the name.
No. I know the names. They work in the restaurant.
Okay.
Melissa, Nathan, Clint.
Okay, there you go. I thought you were going blank.
No, I'm not. Come on.
All right. So we were like, we don't want anybody to be mad at us.
No, and these are people who gotta stare at these smokers every day.
Yeah, and they didn't know who submitted these names. They just went through the list, and these were the top 3 favorites.
And these were the
but
top
as
3
Alan
favorites.
said, everybody that made the top 15, Alan has placed an order for some lovely. Didn't you? You were supposed to do that today.
Let's not tell them what they're going to get. It's
Right,
a surprise.
You're going to get some sandwich and some
You're going to get
stuff.
some sandwich and some love and gear. So yeah, so everyone who submitted a top 15 name. Should I go through those one more time?
No.
Okay. We did those on the last podcast. But here are the winning names. I wish we had a drum roll. And the grand prize will get a dinner at Oaked with Kelly Raspberry Evans and
and Alan Evans
and a gift bag from Oaked. And
right.
probably some sandwich and some love and gear.
Throw it all in there.
And probably if you get me drunk enough, I'll tell the Hello Hand story.
Oh gosh, y'all don't really want to hear it.
Here we
really
go.
Don't.
Here we go. The first winner who submitted the name, The Pit Killer, is Jill Schleybaugh. Submitted The Pit Killer, which
That's
is
a play on me.
Which is a play on
The
Kelly.
Bit
She is
Killer.
the Bit Killer. So Jill, love ya, sister. I think Jill is in Lubbock.
Oh,
I believe
check
she
to
is.
Dallas.
She is a very good customer.
we'll make it work with your schedule.
I believe Jill is not here local,
All right.
but hey,
Congratulations.
Jill, do us a favor. Send me your address, please, and we will coordinate. So thank you for the submission. The Pit Killer. One of the smokers is named the Pit Killer. The second smoker submitted by Donna, Tawkoyty. I can't even read my own writing.
Tawakani?
Yeah, but the name is Iron Man.
Iron Man. You really like that name.
You know, that happened to be my favorite of
really-
all the names,
yeah,
Iron
it's true.
Man. Iron Man was selected by the committee. You know, Iron Man was Arnold Palmer's caddy. And he was Arnold Palmer's caddy for freaking
You loved Arnold Palmer.
300 years. And it was also Cal Ripken Jr.'s nickname.
Okay.
If you're going to have a smoker, you don't want it burning out.
And people say you look like Robert Downey Jr. on occasion.
Thank you.
Also known as Iron Man.
Tell you what, the smoker has got to keep going and going and going. So, Donna, send us your address, please. Iron Man is the second winner.
We have a way to get in touch with them too, right? If they're not.
I
listening.
do.
Okay.
I do. Yeah, I'll reach out to you guys too. And then the third grand prize winner, submitted by Sandra Feltmos, is El Presidente.
El Presidente.
Yay!
Sean's gonna love that. I'm gonna tell him tomorrow.
Are you going to tell Sean we have a smoker named after him?
Yes.
So there you go, guys. Iron Man from Donna, the Pit Killer from Jill, and El Presidente from Sandra.
There you go.
Those are your 3 winners.
Look forward to having some great barbecue with you eventually when the restaurant opens.
Everyone on the list will get some parting gifts.
Top 15.
Top 15, yes.
All right. And Alan's got all your contact information hopefully.
Hey,
We'll hear
somebody.
from him in the next
Hey,
week or
babe,
so.
somebody's calling in right now. Hold on, let me patch him through. Okay. Let me see. Can you hear him?
No.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah. Hey.
Is this El Presidente?
Hey, Kelly.
Hey.
Hey, this is Sean Nunn.
Well, as we affectionately call El Presidente.
Hey, I was on YouTube, and I was listening to that jackass Allen. Are y'all doing some contest or something?
Yes, sir. It's over now, though.
Well, what the hell is going on?
Well, we named a smoker. We had our listeners pick names of smokers, and El Presidente was one of the winning.
Listen, I
submissions.
don't like that. You know I don't like that nickname. We need to nip this in the bud.
It's done, sir.
Well, okay.
It's done.
All right, well,
I'd learn to embrace it if I were you.
well, I think this is a bunch of bullshit.
Oh, my goodness.
You know, I've been
Language.
around Georgia a lot, so I'm going to cuss about every other word, but that's okay.
That's okay.
All right, tell Alan to stop doing this shit, and every time y'all do a contest, it doesn't have to involve me.
I will. Sorry, El Presidente.
Okay.
But the damage is done.
Remember, I'm your damn boss.
Why are you cussing so much?
Well, because that's what I do.
Ugh,
Okay.
I think we're going to have to let you go.
All right, bye, Kelly.
Goodbye.
All right, bye.
See you in the office eventually.
Can you believe that? El
I
Presidente called in.
can't. No. You know, I got pushed back. We all got pushed back going back to work now until the first week in October.
Oh, yeah. Amen.
So Alan says, why
Why
don't
don't you
call?
guys just wait? Why doesn't
Right.
George just say, just wait until 2021?
How about this? We won't go back to work until Oaked Barbecue opens. How about that?
Oh, shit. God knows when that's going to be.
I know.
Hopefully.
Hopefully sooner
hopefully
rather
next
than
month.
later.
All right, babe.
Sorry we didn't get to everything. I'm sorry we spent so long on those 12 probing questions. But the good news is we only have
Probing.
12 left to go. And I promise you we won't be as long-winded the next time.
All right. Well, this was fun. I love you desperately.
I love you.
You have anything else to do?
No.
All right. I love everyone who submitted a name for the smokers desperately. Everybody. You all did a great job. They were all super creative and fun. And I hope everybody stops by the restaurant to see Kelly. She'll be there a lot. So if you want to go to the restaurant and see Kelly, she'll be there. All the time.
I wouldn't get your hopes up for all the time.
But I'm sure we'll podcast again real soon. And in the immortal words of the great Keanu Reeves, life is good when you have a good sandwich.
Bye.